The pros and cons of being selfish. I'd like to admit something right off the bat. I'm a little selfish. Okay, maybe I'm a lot selfish. Sometimes you have to be. Hello, and welcome. I'm making this bold statement today because the 8th career limiting habit we're discussing is selfishness, and I may not be the best person to advise you on this topic. But I'll share what I know and let you make that decision. Here's the deal. I believe there are two sides to this coin. Selfishness can be annoying and even dangerous in the workplace. It can also at times be a necessary evil. The good, the bad, the ugly. A selfish person tends to put his own needs before the needs of others. As a professional, this doesn't exactly make you the best team player. A strong team is made up of people who are willing to sacrifice their own glory for the sake of the group. But there is a time and place for selfishness, my friends. You have to look out for yourself in this world. You deserve success. Your needs are just as important as the needs of others. You have to be willing to fight for them, or no one else will. Finding the balance. So it's a delicate balance. I believe that selfishness, in the career-limiting sense, means that you're so consumed in your own world that you're unable to understand or work effectively within a bigger system. But don't confuse this for self-respect. It's not selfish to know what you want from your career and go after it. It's not selfish to be loyal to your own needs. Listen to your inner voice and do what's right for you, even when others are pushing you in the opposite direction. Embrace your professional power. Don't give up on your own dreams simply because someone else got there first. Don't be content with a supporting role if you're dying to be a star. You can fight for the success you want and deserve while still being a strong team member. All too often, I see professionals, especially women, who sacrifice everything because they're afraid of being selfish. They stay in jobs they hate out of loyalty, for bosses who don't respect them, and companies that don't even know they exist. They refuse to stand up and demand credit for their work when others take it from them. They hesitate when asking for a raise because they don't want to be greedy. They refuse to promote their own strengths because they don't want to be arrogant. They're afraid of shining too brightly for fear that it will somehow create darkness for others. I want you to stand up and take what's yours, but I also want you to play nice in the sandbox. I think it's possible to do both. I think there's a way to love yourself and do what's best for you, while also working well inside the system. It's a matter of respect for yourself and for the team. The world is full of abundance. Don't play like it's a zero-sum game. If you win, it doesn't necessarily mean others lose. You deserve success as much as the next guy, if you're willing to work for it. The reasons why being selfish is good for you. You can finally look out for number 1. Be a little greedy with your own needs, and you'll make the world around you better in the process. Being called selfish doesn't feel like a compliment, but the trait can actually make you a better person, psychology experts say. When you take care of yourself first, you show up as a healthy, grounded person in life, says Bob Rosen, author of Grounded: How Leaders Stay Rooted in an Uncertain World, Jossie Base 2013. Oriented around survival, Rosen says it's in our nature to take care of our own needs first. The instinct eventually got a bad rap, however, and became the source of negative emotions like fear and guilt. If you can't take care of yourself, then you can't care for others. Being selfish is critical. As we evolved, we developed higher-order needs, such as becoming community-centered, he says. Our theory of human development is based on a model that you're either selfish or you're community-oriented. The truth is that you need to be both. It's not an either-or. Selfish is an ugly word, but it can mean two different things, she says. The other is that you take responsibility for getting your personal, emotional, and physical needs met, and that's an important part of becoming an adult. Rosen and Deuter say that the key to healthy selfishness is being self-focused instead of self-involved. Schedule some me time, and you might discover these 4 benefits. 1. You'll be healthier. Selfish people tend to take better care of themselves instead of giving too much energy away, serving the needs of everyone else, says Rosen. He interviewed several executives for his book and found strong physical health to be a common trait of a good leader. Instead of spending all of their time at work, these men and women carve out time for themselves, he says. For example, Dennis Nally is global chairman of PwC, formerly PricewaterhouseCoopers, and he travels more than any other person I know. Exercises all the time and eats well. He knows in order to sustain his travel agenda, he has to take the time to take care of himself. You'll have an advantage when it comes to leadership roles. Studies have shown that acting in your own self-interest may give you an advantage in leadership roles, says Deuter. Selfish people are more confident and less likely to give up on goals, she says. They go after what they want unapologetically, and they're not afraid to ask for the raise or promotion. Rosen agrees. Selfish people have a drive to succeed, he says. There is often a higher purpose to be a great leader, taking care of other people. But if you can't take care of yourself, you can't care for others. Being selfish is critical. 33. You'll have better relationships. People will have a harder time manipulating or taking advantage of you if you're selfish, says Deuter. Setting boundaries means knowing where you end and other person begins, she says. If you have trouble being self-focused, you might have trouble saying no. To be a healthy, grounded person, you need to be selfish, says Rosen. If you're looking to a partner to fill your emotional needs, your relationship is vulnerable. The best relationships happen when two adults show up and enjoy each other. You'll be happier. Selfish people spend their time doing activities they like to do. If you have a well-developed sense of who you are, what you enjoy, and the ability to communicate this to others, you'll be a happier person, says Deuter. Putting yourself first is not a negative quality. It's your job to take care of yourself and get what you need. Rosen says Linda Rabbit, founder of Rand Construction, is a good example of someone who takes care of herself emotionally. She is very self-aware and is always asking for feedback, he says. And she's a generally positive person. When you're able to focus within, you're much more authentic and much happier. Apply to the Most Innovative Companies Awards and be recognized as an organization driving the world forward through innovation.